So let me guess, you're looking to move to Fort Mill, South Carolina, but you need a little bit more information before making your final decision. Well, you've come to the right video. In this video, we're going to review not only the overall location of Fort Mill, we're going to talk about some of the pros of the location as well as commute times, take a look at the downtown, and if you stick around to the very end, I'm going to show you where you can find homes in different price ranges to meet exactly what you're looking for. Now, if you're looking for everything Charlotte and the surrounding areas, be sure to subscribe to this channel to stay up to date on everything you didn't know you need to know. And if you hit the notification button, you'll be the first to know about all Charlotte market updates. I'm 𝗖𝗀. I run a team of agents in Charlotte, North Carolina, servicing North and South Carolina. We get calls, texts, emails, Zoom requests every single day from people just like you who are looking to move to the area, want a little bit more information and guidance, and we're able to help them get there. Now, whether you're moving in 9 days or 90 days across the country or across town, we would love to make your buying experience exactly what you want it to be. So let's dive into our video for today and not waste any time. We are talking about Fort Mill, South Carolina. Now, Fort Mill, as you probably have seen in my vlog tour of Fort Mill, was actually named because there was a fort and a mill. That's right. Back in the 1870s, there was a fort located in Fort Mill, South Carolina, as well as it became known as a textile hub. Now, well, it's not known for textiles anymore. Instead, it's known more for both healthcare as well as manufacturing. It definitely got its start in the textile industry, as did many other areas of North and South Carolina. So let's dive in real quick and take a look at where it actually is located. So this is the town of Fort Mill right here. Now, as you can see, it is just to the east of Lake Wylie. You've got 𝗖𝗂 Cay right here, and just below it is Rock Hill, South Carolina. Sure, you're going to notice this right now, but Rock Hill is far bigger than Fort Mill. Fort Mill sits just north of the Catawba River. One of the advantages of Fort Mill is it does have a much better location when it comes to getting into Charlotte. That's right, most people that live in Rock Hill and Fort Mill, a lot of them do commute into the Charlotte area, whether it be downtown or any of the outliers that are around 45. Most people are making that commute. There's a lot of different reasons for that. We'll get into that in a second. But let's take a look at where it sits according to a bigger map. So here's the United States. Ta-da! If we go ahead and zoom in, you can see that it's right on that border of North and South Carolina. Now, one of the nice things about the location, you have easy drivability to Asheville, which are a very popular mountainous area here in North Carolina, great, known for food, and definitely the hippie lifestyle. It's a lot of fun to go visit. So great easy weekend trip there, 2 hours. You've got about 3.5 hours to Charleston or Wilmington, which are the two most popular locations for North Carolinians and South Carolinians to go to hit the beach. Now, yes, you can also hit Myrtle Beach, but I will say it's called Dirty Myrtle for a reason. So for all of my Northerners out there, Myrtle Beach is not where you want to go. Go check out Wilmington and Charleston. So I'm going to zoom in here just a bit. As you can see, like I said, it sits just to the east of Lake Wylie. Lake Wylie, absolutely beautiful lake, beautiful area. There's actually a town of Lake Wylie, which sits right here. I'm going to give you a little bit of info. So the bigger of the lakes is Lake Norman. This is actually the largest man-made lake on the East Coast. And there's a little river, as you can see, there's always something that feeds it, right? But coming down from Lake Norman, it feeds into a little river right here that goes to Mountain Island Lake. There it is, Mountain Island Lake, and then feeds down into the Catawba River. Now, the Catawba River is named after the Catawba Indians that were the, obviously, original people that lived in the area. And there's actually some fun history that goes along with the Catawba Indians and the Fort Mill, South Carolina area, which I get into in one of my vlog videos. So as it comes on down, it comes into Lake Wylie and then flanks back off into the Catawba River, all running on the south side of Fort Mill. Now, like I had said earlier, Fort Mill is a great location if you're looking to commute into Charlotte. As you can see, it is just down I-77. There's a couple pros and cons. to being in this area. One, the bigger or more main thoroughfare to get from North Carolina to South Carolina and vice versa is going to be I-77. Now, I-77 runs all the way up to Statesville, down into the main area flanking Lake Norman, through Charlotte, down, and leads all the way into Rock Hill. Now, this also eventually leads all the way down to Columbia, South Carolina. Now, while most people don't go that far south for their commute, it's there. Now, that's one of the cons, is that your main thoroughfare is going to be right there. One of the pros to Fort Mill, and I think a bigger pro than Rock Hill, you actually have other means to get into town. So if you zoom in right here, 21, which is a bypass, 21 flanks the side of 77. So you can kind of pop right up here and hop over to 51. Let's say I-77 is shut down. You can hop right over, go through Pineville, and then get on a 45. Or you could take 160 into Indian Land and up in through Ballantyne. So either way you slice it, there are multiple avenues. In addition to that, you can follow 160 up this way, and it basically flanks off of the side here and pops right into the airport. Now, the downside over here for Rock Hill, they really don't have as many options. So if you're looking to have easy accessibility to Charlotte and faster commute times, this is definitely the ticket. Let's take a look at the actual commutes that you might be facing if you are living in Fort Mill. So I'm going to go ahead and get some directions going here. Let me move my face over. All right, so we're going to take you right into Charlotte. So at the time that this is being filmed, it's 6:30 at night. So just coming off of rush hour, but sometimes you do hit some little bottlenecks here. So if you are going from Fort Mill to Charlotte right now, there's a backup. All right, so if you are commuting in the evening, obviously there's going to be a backup. But if you are coming from Charlotte to Fort Mill, it's only going to be about 36 minutes, and that's with traffic, which is great. Now, obviously, you're going to flip-flop in the morning. This might not be holding true, but it might be about 37 minutes if you hit traffic. Your main areas for finding a bottleneck is going to be right in here, where people are coming off of 45 onto 77, or you're going to find a bottleneck right in here, exactly where we're seeing it. So for whatever reason, traffic loves to back up right here. I do not know why. I have tried to figure that out for years, but this seems to be the spot where things back up. Now I'm going to give you another commute time real quick. So let's go ahead and flip that back. And we're going to take a look if you are working in Rock Hill. Obviously, Rock Hill, South Carolina, south of Fort Mill. It's about a 20-minute ride, which sounds shocking because they're really right on top of each other. But as you can see, there's a few different routes, all of them between 17 to 18 minutes, whether you're taking I-77 or going all back roads. Both of these are leading into the heart of each of these locations. And I'm going to give you one other one or two others. Ballantyne is super duper close, so that's really cool. 16 minutes to get to Ballantyne. Ballantyne is definitely a hub for industry. Actually, Ballantyne, there's a huge business center there. It is known as one of the largest, or should I say the largest, real estate sale that has happened in North and South Carolina, which is really crazy. But this particular business park, if we go ahead and zoom in, the business park is absolutely massive here in this area, and it houses everything from your doctors to dentists to attorneys, business, whatever it is. As you can see, this corporate plaza just stretches all the way around. It's right off 45. It was a massive sale when it comes to real estate, but the commute time is really easy if you're living in Fort Mill. And you're going to avoid a lot of the traffic that most people run into over here right off 45, usually in the morning and the afternoon, which is great. So I'm going to give you another commute time because a lot of people go into the Barclays Downs or South Park area for work. Again, another big business area. So South Park, also more, of course, for us ladies. We love the South Park Mall. It's beautiful. But if you are commuting into South Park, you are looking at about a 27-minute commute. So one of the most interesting things that I find about this is you can go all the way almost into Charlotte, and it's only 10 minutes longer than if you popped into Rock Hill. How intriguing is that? So all of those, you're going to find anything Charlotte South, you're going to be able to get from Fort Mill to there in less than 30 minutes. Now, if you are going to the north side, I'm going to go ahead and drag it up here. If you're working in the Huntersville area or something like that, once again, you're looking at about 32 minutes. Now, what you're going to notice right here is commute-wise, it took you all the way out to 485. 45, it has a faster speed limit of about 70 miles per hour versus 55 miles per hour in most of the thoroughfare coming through 77. In addition to that, there's usually less traffic. Things move a little bit faster. There's 3 lanes on either side. So if you are going north, 45 is usually your best bet. Now, one other thing to look at, if you are headed up, let's say, to go to the lake for whatever reason, usually people head up there for the weekend, for the day, to go boating. Even though you've got Lake Wylie right here, a lot of people love to frequent Lake Norman. You're still looking at about 45 minutes, so really not that bad. Now, it's very interesting. I did a video on Rock Hill. The commute times are way longer. And again, it's so close, but this is why Fort Mill is growing so much faster right now, sometimes than Rock Hill, is because of that location. And as you can see on the outskirts here, all of this available property and land, which is really, really neat. So I definitely would say keep that in mind when you're looking in this area. There's going to be a lot of new construction that you're going to find because there is available land and because these commute times are just absolutely amazing. So let's go ahead and take a look here. We're going to dive right back down into Fort Mill, and I want to show you guys a little bit about the town itself. So welcome to Fort Mill. Ta-da! So when you come into Fort Mill, you're going to come in off of I-77, and it's going to take you down North White Street. Now, the actual downtown, as you can see, it's a little ways off of the interstate, which is actually kind of nice. And you're going to take a hard left, and that's going to take you right into downtown. So let me go ahead and do a satellite view so I can show you all the little goodness. So zooming in here, you're also going to find there is this train track that runs right along here. You can't quite see it, but there is a train track, and you're going to come right past the farmer's market into this little downtown. Now, these buildings right here, all of these are original buildings from the 18 and 1900s. I am a little bit of a history buff. I love old buildings. I love old towns, and this one is definitely one of them. So instead of ripping them all down, the town was smart, and they actually kept it exactly as is and renovated them. So there are some great little shops down here. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit more. Now, this is the hub for a lot of gatherings. As you can see, there's some parking here. There's a nice little farmer's market, which pops up during the weekends. Confederate Park, which usually there's festivals in town. There's a lot of tents set up over in this area. And all of these little shops have been filled with the cutest little stores. So you, me, and the dog boutique. This little spot in here is so gosh darn cute. You can see it right up here. Kind of tucked right inside of here. But this little spot, I actually did a little bit of a vlog tour on that. It's got clothing, it's got children's wear, it's got everything you could want to just completely spoil your dog. And I'm a dog person, so I love that. Over here, we've got a restaurant with a huge outdoor area. I think you can see that a little bit. This is where a lot of locals go to hang out. It's a great spot. There's plenty of parking. Parking is essential. As you can see, there's plenty of parking. But because there's so much outdoor seating area and things to do, it's just a great spot to go pop in. Now, another really cool spot is right down here. So Emirates Social Table in Fort Mill, really great food. I love the food in here. It's got a great outdoor seating area. As well as Crossings on Main, this little gift shop, just a wonderful little spot to pop into. Now, also down here, which is not popping up, there we go, nope, still not popping up, is the old theater. So there's an old theater right here, which they do still do shows, and I have not ever actually been, but I've driven past plenty of times going, I really need to go to one of those. In addition to that, there's also your Armour Brewing. As you know, I love a good beer. So Armour is a great brewery right downtown. They do bottle and can their beer as well, so you can take it with you if you can't hang out. Animal Hospital, little barber shop. I mean, just how amazing is this? I love little small towns. Check that out. They've got the classic style, but very manly. Can't do anything without a nice manly Craftsman tool case right there. as well as some other little great stores. Now, one spot I will also point out, Olive's, here we go, Olive's Mud Puddle. So this is a coffee shop. Now, inside this coffee shop, you'll see this on my vlog tour. People that are artists can go ahead and put their art in here, sell their drinks are absolutely amazing. And I don't think they have a photo of it in here, but right in the back, they also have a spot where you can do pottery. So you can come in, do pottery classes, or whatever you desire, which is, I love it. I absolutely love it. So let's keep on our tour. So as I zoom out just a little bit, this is your main thoroughfare. So it kind of comes in and cuts around. As you go around this area, it starts turning into a very residential. So as you can see, this is really your hub right here. And then it's going to start sprawling out into more residential areas. Now, there's still food all over the place. So you've got chicken and ribs, things like that, and several churches, which I don't think you have maybe noticed that, but there are a lot of churches from this Fort Mill Church of the Nazarene over here. You've got another beautiful church here in town. You also have the Magistrate Court. Now, not everybody is interested in things like that, but the building is really gorgeous. It's just outside of downtown. They do have some of the older courthouses and things of that nature that are sprawled out all throughout. Now I'm going to zoom out just a little bit because I want to come down North White Street. Again, this is that main thoroughfare. What you're going to notice is there's this huge park right here. This is where most people are going to go if you want to take your kids to go play in the park or do anything like that. It is absolutely gorgeous. So we can't see a whole lot of this, but I'm hoping I can click on it and it'll pull up a couple of photos. So you've got everything from playgrounds to open space. So you want to go out and kick around a soccer ball, that's great. But this is also where they do most festivals. So if you're going to go to a festival in Fort Mill, this is where it's going to be. In addition to that, I think you saw it on the overhead, they've got a big amphitheater. So once again, music and things like that. It definitely is a hub for families or people that want to get into fitness. They want to go out, they want to get some fresh air. This is a fantastic park for it. So there's everything from jungle gyms to the amphitheater. And if you notice right around here, there's an actual walking path. This is actually paved so you can go for a nice jog and get out into the sunshine. Now, I'm going to point a few things out here. As you can see, there's a lot of residential right in here. So all these are homes, okay? Most of the homes that are closer to this downtown area, they're going to be in a lower price point and a lot smaller. Now, if it's going to be more square footage, yes, you're going to pay more for it. But most of the homes that are in this area, they are a little bit smaller because they're mill houses. A lot of them were built in the 1920s or in that range. So you're looking at homes that are 1,200 to 1,600 square feet. So let's take a quick look at what those pricing really look like and what you can expect in these areas to see what the pricing and home availability might be. So here's a look at Fort Mill for homes that are between 200 and 400,000. This is noting both sold as well as under contract homes and what that looks like. So we're going to zoom in a little bit closer to this little downtown that I was telling you about to take a look at some of the prices. So as you can see, a lot of them are going to be in that mid 300 price range all through here, most of them into that upper almost $400,000. This, for example, is a pretty walkable property. So I'm going to pull this one up right now just to give you an idea. So the home was built in 1948. It's only 1,000 square feet. Now I say only because you're going to notice that we're going to look at some other homes that are quite larger. Now it does have 3 beds and 2 baths. All the homes that we're going to look at right now are going to have at minimum 3 beds and 2 baths. And it sits on a little bit of a postage stamp of 0.13. Now this, once again, very much a mill house, but has been completely renovated. We're going to see a little bit more of that here in a second. So the whole interior has been gutted down to the studs, completely redone, new appliances, new bathrooms, new everything, which is what's really close to, pulling that $400,000 value. Nice little yard, although smaller, they've completely resodded it. It's a great home. Now, I'm going to give you a totally different feel. So obviously that's your little downtown. We're going to take a look at one that's $265,000. So this is quite a bit less than what we were looking at just now. Now this home is slightly larger at 1,400 square feet, built in the 70s, almost 80s, and sits on a half acre. So you're probably wondering, then why is it less expensive? Let's take a look at the interior. So this property, go ahead and get through. It has been updated, but modestly. It's not as updated as the other one. They haven't done as many refinishes. Pretty much painting and floor, and these are the original cabinets. That's right. They did a great job with it, but it is the original cabinet. So none of the kitchen has been renovated. In addition to that, I'm going to point this out. Nope. Okay, here we go. I'll point this out right here. If you take a look, it looks like a little bit of a lipstick job where there's some gaps in just very intriguing things that they did here as we start to click through. So when you're looking at pricing and you do see something that's a little bit less expensive, the question is why? And this one certainly has a couple of whys. So if you're looking for a home that you can move into, ready to go, in most cases, you're going to be in that mid to upper $300,000 range, being closer in here. Even further out, closer to I-77, all around here, you're going to have a minimum of about $350,000, I would say, for a decent home. Now let's take a look at $400,000 to $600,000 and see what that gets you. So this is going to show you $400,000 to $600,000. Now, I'm not looking at actual square footage. The biggest thing we're looking at least 3 bedrooms, at least 2 bathrooms. So most of these are going to be far more. So if you want to stay down in this Fort Mill area, we'll go ahead and pull one up. Here we go, 525, just to give you an idea. So this is a newer home built in 2007, 2,600 square feet, but again, pretty walkable if you wanted to be into Fort Mill quickly. Now, some of it looks a little bit more dated as 07 would be, but the square footage is absolutely phenomenal. You would be quite comfortable in this home. We'll take a look at another one that is in more of a historic area. I'll take a look. Usually if they're a little bit more expensive, they're a little bit larger and usually pretty well done. Let's take a look at this one as well. So this is 475, again, walking distance to take a look at the square footage. 1,600 square feet. It's an older home. But how pretty. They opened up all the walls. Nice open floor plan, completely new kitchen. Absolutely great home. And here's the thing, you've got the walkability. Look at this bathroom, my goodness. So for $475, you can still get a decent sized home. So this one right here, 1,600 square feet, but it's got 3 bed, 2 bath, larger yard, absolutely beautiful. So that's what $475 is going to get you really close into town. Now here's the interesting thing. If we zoom out a little bit, again, we're looking 400 to 600. There's a lot of opportunity right up this way. Now, as you notice, a lot of these are in the 500 kind of range. Same up through here. A lot of that has to do with, of course, the location. We're getting a little bit closer onto the border of North Carolina into the Pineville, Valentine areas. So depending upon what neighborhood you are in, you're going to see a spike in the actual prices. So these ones are in the 500s. In general, you're probably going to find most homes in these areas are going to be about the upper 300s into low 400s. You can find a decent home. If you bump it all the way up into the 500s, you can find a lot of opportunity. Now, let's take a quick peek at what 600,000 plus looks like. All right, here we are, 600,000 plus. We're going to go right back into where we know, downtown. So let's take a look at a $600,000 home right near downtown. Now, as you notice, this is a nice little golf club right over here. This is the Country Club Drive area. This particular property was $660,000. Now remember, we're thinking location here, right? So it sits on almost an acre, bumps right up to the golf course. Interior has been redone. Go ahead and click through here. So updated interiors, but we're really looking at location. So when you see that it's a little bit smaller, you might be thinking, yeah, it's a smaller home. Why would I pay $660,000 for it? But look at that. It's not as small as you might think. It's 3,300 square feet. It does look like it's a little bit smaller, but it also has 4 beds, 4 baths, built in the 1960s. And once again, we're talking location. It's almost an acre, which is great. So if you want to be closer into town, you want a little bit more acreage. See, we're like right here, right up the street. So you are going to find homes here, but you're going to pay over $600,000 for it. Now, there's also some other homes tucked back up in here that are of similar, so 727,000. Note, this house is 3,500 square feet. Now, it's a newer home, so if you're looking for something newer, yes, you can find that closer to the downtown area, closer to town, but you're also going to pay for it. So this is a 5-bed, 3.5-bath property. Sits on almost a half acre. Look how pretty it just sets right back up into the woods there. Nice open floor plan, very crisp lines. Love the coffered ceilings. And this walks right out into a little sunroom and is connected directly into the kitchen. So you have just about anything you could want when it comes to, look at that, how gorgeous is this property? Now again, you're going to be walkability to being in town, but you have all the space you could possibly want. Huge master suite. And I'm trying to get to the backyard because the backyard is actually pretty nice. Big bonus rooms upstairs, this. So you're also going to get a screened in porch as well as a large backyard. So all of this, again, it's only 2015. It's a 5-bed, 3-bath. It's close to town, but you're going to look at pricing at about seven between upper 6s, low 7s, but it's really, really close. So again, if you want something a little bit newer, that is possible. Now, as we zoom out, you're going to find the clusters of homes in these price ranges are going to be a little bit further out. So they're going to be over here on the other side of I-77. And most of these neighborhoods are going to be what I would say pockets of certain price ranges. So depending upon the neighborhood you're in, such as this one right here, this is right on the golf course. This is where your $1 million homes are going to be. If you want to be in a golf course community in Fort Mill, this is what you're going to be looking at. So 4,000 square feet, 5-bed, 4-bath on the golf course. Beautiful homes that are available over in this way. But as you can see, definitely the amenities are phenomenal. So take a look at that. So this was one of the areas that I actually had on my most recent video of the vlog tour of Fort Mill. So go take a look at that. But they've got a beautiful tennis court area, big pool and recreation area for the kiddos or you. I like to get a little sun. But they have a nice mix. So they have price ranges for townhouses a little bit lower, but they also have golf, and golf is really big. So this is actually the golf recreation area right here. This is your golf club for golf. So you can pop in there, but the community itself spreads quite a ways, and it is an absolutely magnificent golf course. So if you are interested in that, go take a look. But just as you can see, that's where you're going to start to get your clusters of 600, a million, in the 700s, and everything down here. Fort Mill does spread a little bit, which is surprising to think about. It goes right up to the very border of South Carolina. So a lot of opportunity, a lot of things to be seen when it comes to pricing. But the biggest thing that I would highlight is there is a price range for everyone, and there is a home available for everyone, regardless of price range. So that concludes our tour of Fort Mill, South Carolina. If you have other questions, be sure to drop them in the comments below. I'd love to fill in the blanks on anything you're looking for. But as I said, there is a home in everyone's price range in this area. It's real close to Charlotte, and you can commute just about anywhere. So if you're looking to move in 9 days or 90 days, whether it be across the country or across town, give us a call. We'd love to go ahead and schedule an appointment with you and get you where you need to go, making your move exactly what you want it to be. Till next time, I look forward to showing you around town. Take care.